Good morning, pregame crew. It is Wednesday, May 24th, 2023, 6:21 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:21 a.m. Eastern Time. I hope you are well. Mary, thank you for those comments. I like that. I'm going to say hello to my friends, do a few chart requests, and we'll officially get started in 9 minutes. But I'll be doing technical analysis from here on out till this says almost 7 o'clock down here. We go live in our chat room at 7 a.m., Charting Me and Dan. We have 3 live shows a day in our chat room. And then 2 days a week, we have additional live where we do a Zoom call with our members and answer their questions. So good morning, Shake and Bake. Hey, Bennett, Greg, Renaissance Man, Samwise. Hey, Topher. Win for you. Hello. Hey, Marvin, Tess, Casey, Keith, Alnick. Hey, E Cubed. Hey, Bob, GE. Buy on yesterday's pullback. We'll look at that. Hey, RJ, Mary, B-Hawk, Homebody, Josh, Mask, ADR. Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Bennett. Knock on wood that everything stays sounding good, right? Hey, Mike and Sandor. Thank you. That's very nice. I always look forward to seeing your name in chat. So we both are looking forward to this. So good. I'm happy you're here. It is Fed Minutes Day. We'll have Fed Minutes at 2 o'clock, and hopefully we'll remind you again before the end of the show. We have Yellen at 10:05. We got Fed Waller. He's wallering around and speaking at 12:10, and then FOMC meeting minutes at 2 p.m. Meeting minutes used to be a big nothing burger, but nothing is a big nothing burger anymore with economic news with algos that are super sensitive. Hey, Friendly Bird, thank you for being here. Shout out TradingView chat room. Hey, Gil Herme. I know I just killed your name, but it's a beautiful name. Saeed, hi. Excuse me. I did not hit mute fast enough. Okay, thoughts on AI? Sure. Daily is looking for a higher low compared to 25.06. We have plenty of room for that to happen. Hourly, I would love this chart if it were oversold on the hourly. I would like it a little bit more. I go over Bitcoin every day, so I'll be going over it, but my overall thoughts are bearish, Friendly Bird, but I'll go over it in greater detail. So 25.43 gets AI to hourly oversold. So let's remember that number, 25.39, 25.40. Let's put it right there. That would be hourly oversold. And I strongly suggest that you mark your charts up the same way. And not exactly like me, you can do your own flair, but mark your charts up. Pick your spots. You got to know your spots. And that happens to match up with the daily 8 EMA. And that keeps the daily higher low in play above 25.06. Do you see where that would be a great location to attempt a long? Then if you're wrong quickly and you'll know it. That's pretty far down though. We'll see what happens. Right now you're in an hourly downtrend. 15-minute EMAs are overhead. I mean, if you want to be an aggressive bull, you could buy against the pre-market low of 26.42. A more conservative entry would be closer to this oversold and daily 8 EMA. GE. Let's look at it. Daily higher low, the more likely scenario compared to 97.71. We are not 4-hour oversold yet. We are hourly oversold. So you're getting close. Let's see. Let's mark off anything else we see. Daily 21 EMA is right there. Yeah, that's logical. Especially if it's a gap down. I used to get so confused when I would hear people on YouTube or wherever, and they would say, I want price to come down to X in order to buy it. And I'm like, well, if you want a long, wouldn't you want it here? And of course, now that I've been trading for a long time or longer time. I understand now what they mean. You want it at a discount. Traders are the only people on earth who don't buy things on sale. Some traders do, and those make better traders. But most traders don't want to buy things when they're on sale. GE is on sale right now. Let's see, how much of a sale price are we getting? Because I love a good deal. I brought this up before. I used to go to Kmart with my mom and my aunt, and we would just chase blue light specials. We'd look for that light and we would run. We love a good deal. We love a discount. My dad would be like, why do y'all go just look through those racks for hours? And my mom would say, it's like killing a deer for you. He'd go hunt and sit in the woods all day waiting for that one deer. We're looking for that big buck. And that big buck would be like 80% off or 90% off. So GE is on sale. It's down 4.5% from the recent high. So I think a gap down, if we could gap below 101.28 and get some real selling pressure toward 189 or 101.01, that could be a decent area for a buy. I'm picking up what you're putting down, catching what you're throwing, RJ. Hey, ADR in Toronto. Tesla is one of my Queen of the Mountain trades today, looking for that top fish setup off that daily bearish reversal candle. Remember, reversal candles need to be confirmed. So you can have this big old ugly bearish reversal candle where you have a big upper wick of bears selling on that pop, but you need another candle to confirm that actual bearish reversal. So I'm with you. I'm actually in a Tesla short already, and I would love to add to it on 5-minute overbought or 15-minute overbought. I think that would, so you're switching to reverse back burner mentality, looking for a top fish on Tesla, attempting to nail that hourly lower high. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and go over Bitcoin now. So Bitcoin is going sideways on the hourly chart. It gave back all of its beautiful gains yesterday, and we have a potential 4-hour bear flag. Because here, Bitcoin was pushing up and the market was not. So Bitcoin could not hold up under the market weakness and it gave way. So now we have a potential 4-hour bear flag. Daily is pretty sideways underneath this 21 EMA, which has been an electric fence for these bulls for a while, keeping price contained, even though we got a daily higher high. Your key support 26547. Bulls are going to want to see that hold, and bears are looking for 5 and 15-minute overbought conditions for potential shorts. What do I think about smart money concepts? I don't think a lot about it. I don't know that we truly know what smart money is doing. And I just don't even embrace that terminology at all. I watch dark pool blocks every single day come through. I see them, I plot them on my chart, I watch it, and you never know if it's a buy or sell. So I just use those levels for the dark pool. Let's say we had, this is Bitcoin, that's not an accurate example, but let's just say Amazon. Let's say we had dark pool up here and here. We don't know if it was buy or sell. So basically, if you're above a dark pool level, that could act as a synthetic support. And if you're approaching a dark pool level from below, it could act as synthetic resistance. Otherwise, smart money, stupid money, it doesn't mean anything to me. Money's money. And right now, the market says Amazon is worth $116.30. If you look up Amazon on FinViz and you look at the market cap and you look at the PE ratio and you look at the revenue and you say, what's the market cap right now? 1.121 trillion. You say, I think it's worth 1.5 trillion. And you do that, divide it by the number of shares, and you say, I think it's worth $149 per share. Great. Doesn't matter what you think, because the actual price is the price that people are willing to pay. In Econ 101, the first thing they do, which I did not embrace econ at all in my business major or my MBA, I did not like it. You have supply and demand, and price is whatever people are willing to pay for it. So Amazon right now is at $116.30, where you have adequate supply and demand that are meeting. That's what it's worth, period. Okay, I'm going to do Euro AUD for Bennett, and then, oh, and Wave, I'll go over NVDA, no problem. Thanks to my mods for being here. EURAUD. And remember, even if it's a ticker you're not interested in, you're like, I don't trade Forex. Why he's asking about this and I don't even care about Forex, whatever. It's always good to go over charts. You learn something. I learned something new almost on every single chart. Things are always clicking subconsciously and consciously for me. So right now we have some bearish divergence here, Bennett. No, we don't. Nope, scratch that. I'm getting a higher time frame. Daily higher high, over 50 RSI, 4-hour overbought. We are looking for a weekly lower high. So weekly lower high is the more likely scenario here with 4-hour overbought. That's typically a prudent spot for bears to scout that top fish, but you don't have any resistance in this area. So I've got to have a level to play against. This is super healthy. If we were to get a bull break here over 164153, that would be some RSI bullish divergence on the hourly chart. Bearish. Dang it, I can't talk today. I'm sorry, Bennett, I'm not very helpful on this chart. Weekly lower high is the more likely scenario. 4 hours overbought, so I have to go with the bearish narrative, but bulls are not letting up at all because there's no resistance in this area. So I guess I would feel the most comfortable top fishing 164153. Sorry, I wasn't much help on that at all. Okay. All right, perfect. Let's get started. Welcome to the pregame show. This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori, and I just stumble and stutter all over charts, I guess, because that EURAUD was not clear. And that's how it be sometimes, you know? That's just how it be. All right. So you can check us out on chartguys.com. We teach technical analysis. We have a beautiful community that we share setups. We share trade entries, trade exits, and we answer your questions all day long, all evening long, whatever time of day you have a question. There's usually one of us around to answer it. So what I do here is I go over this table, and this table is just a table I use to convey to you more objectively what I'm watching for in the market. And then we go over the economic events, and I have some notes that are off screen. I use these notes to keep myself organized, and they're not off screen right now. There they are. Now they're off screen. And I copy and paste these for TCG members when I am done. Hang Seng was down overnight, 1.62%, and DAX is down 1.58%. Fairly bearish, more bearish than our market actually. And the dollar has been screaming all night. It just started pulling back a little bit. So now on the dollar, here's my clearest setup. One of the clearest setups I've seen this morning is this one. Now you have a high probability of getting stopped out, but the risk to reward is worth it in my opinion. Scouting a short on the dollar, looking for that 15-minute lower high and looking for healthy consolidation on this dollar chart that's been a screamer because we're getting a big upper wick right now on the daily chart. So I like this, looking for that hourly and or 15-minute lower high on the dollar. Okay, so let's go back and look at the table. Yes, we're still in a weekly trend and a daily uptrends on ES. 4 hours in a downtrend, hourly is in a downtrend. We have no price patterns to mention, and something changed today. We lost the 50 RSI. We'll see how this candle closes. We actually have bullish divergence right now on ES. You see here RSI is making a higher low while price is making a lower low. So we'll see if this can be the area for bulls to scout a potential daily higher low. So I'm just going to stay with the daily. It makes it a little bit easier for me. Down here by support. So I did some calisthenics earlier. Chart calisthenics, that is. Let me do it again. I must have deleted it. Okay, 4 hour oversold puts you at 41.33.50. All right, that's 4 hour oversold in a daily uptrend. That keeps us above 41.20. Do you see that? So this is 4 hour oversold, and this is probably the most important chart that I'm going to show you today, and most important exercise that I do. So here, 4 hour oversold in a daily uptrend, that is a great area to scout a daily higher low. The bears have the momentum. Hear me out. Bears have the momentum. But down here, I can only think bullish. I can only think bullish down here. And then on a bounce, that's when I look bearish. So let's say this is the temporary low. Where would I look bearish? Let's hide that for now. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's say that this low is put in and we get a 5-minute trend change to the upside, which we haven't, but let's say we do. Where would I then switch and start looking for bear trades? It would be up here in this 4172 area, because odds favor a 4 hour lower high. Odds favor it. So then I'm looking up at the 4 hour 8 and 21 EMA that matches up with a 0.382 fib resistance retrace. And that's whenever we find a low. And I will mark that low when we get a 5-minute trend change. Does that make any sense? I hope it makes sense to you. So I think you pick your spots, and my spots are and just for giggles, let's see where 15-minute overbought would be. Would you look at that? That, my friends, is what you call confluence. So in this 4170 area, it gives us a 0.382 retrace, assuming this is the temporary low. It's our 4 hour EMAs, and it also represents 15-minute overbought. That is the area where I want to scout shorts, and I would abandon a long idea. So down here, that's not what I wanted. I'll just do it the right way, Lori. Long. So down here, I'm looking for a long, and up here, I'm looking for a short. Does that make sense? Because I feel like I may have made that more complicated than it needed to be, but I needed to do it that way. Yeah, hit that like button. A good ETF to short the dollar. Yeah, MG is telling you UUP. It moves like a snail. I like to trade it through futures, but I don't think dollar has a micro or a mini. It's a full-size contract, but yeah, UUP or dollar futures. All right, I think that's our best homework for the day. I'm going to keep going. I'm not wrapping up, I promise. I just needed to look at this and make sure I conveyed to you exactly what I'm thinking. Now, NASDAQ is better off. So 4 hour oversold, let me take this off. 4 hour oversold, I've already done the math, is in this area around 13547. We clearly are looking for a daily higher low. So I like NASDAQ long at 4 hour oversold. If we get there, that's in this area. And then I would switch to bear and look at YM or RTY for those bear trades. NASDAQ is the strongest on the daily. Yeah, we may not get a bounce today and that level changes. Then if we push down to 4 hour oversold, which is at 413425, we have not made it down that low yet. As long as we're holding 4120, I can risk a long at 4134. So let me say those levels a little bit better. Good question. So 417 is my upper level to short. to look for a short, and 4130 is lower area to look long. Actually, it's 4134. Because I'm looking for a long against that 4120 daily higher low. So that's my areas, and I went through the logic as to how I derived or arrived at those numbers. Okay, NASDAQ, 4-hour oversold, 13547, and I wouldn't look to short NASDAQ. I would look to short something else. So I'm not even going to give you an upper level on NASDAQ because we have plenty of room for this daily higher low. And we have NVIDIA earnings after hours. Don't forget that. Apple looks super bearish this morning. I have it triple highlighted because if Apple loses the low during regular trading hours, which it has during after hours or pre-market, but I don't care about that. I want to know what happens during regular trading hours. And we could get down to 170.32. I'm giving it 10 cents. And still, I would consider that a daily double bottom. So I'm giving Apple to 170.32 to get its life together. And then it needs to bounce. And I would possibly look for a long in that area. Even though my table is screaming bearish. It is screaming bearish. I can't be bearish and short in the hole. Does that make sense? I need bounces to short. All right. Did all that, went over the table, economic events, Yellen, we went over that, Waller and FOMC meeting minutes. Okay. Now let's go back and look at RTY. Actually, I want to look at IWM. IWM and RTY look a little different. IWM got this big push up to the daily 200 MA and rejected. Do you see that big bearish reversal candle? It looks just as ugly as Tesla does, doesn't it? So IWM tested the 200 MA and rejected. RTY is not close to the daily 200 MA. It's not even close. But IWM is, and it rejected. And there's some divergence there, and I would love to tell you I know why, but I don't. I don't know why. So I think shorting RTY, looking for an hourly lower high compared to 1797 or a 4-hour lower high compared to 1823 is prudent. So I picked my location. You see that? I've got my location. I want to short on RTY. And the way that I do that is I can start looking for 15-minute overbought conditions. It looks like it has a little inverse head and shoulders forming right now. I can wait for 15-minute overbought and then look for that top fish. Yep, markets closed for Memorial Day. Okay, Dow is weak. What Dow? I was about to say wow. Wow, the Dow lost the daily 200 MA. It is bearish, looking for bounces to short. Again, bullish divergence here on the hourly chart for YM. Price is making lower low. RSI is making higher low. I would look for 15-minute overbought conditions for a potential short. Okay, sorry, just looking at my notes. All right, we went over Bitcoin, potential 4-hour bear flag. Bears are waiting for overbought conditions to short. Ethereum, potential 4-hour bear flag. Bears are waiting for overbought conditions to short. That's so simple. Yeah, I can't. ES, it took me 10 minutes to spit out my ES analysis, and it took me 30 seconds to spit out this one. Maybe that's the easier setup then. If it takes me that long to explain my sequencing and thesis and thoughts, maybe that's not the trade I need to take. There's a note to self. Okay, gold is up here at the daily 8 EMA in a daily downtrend, in a weekly downtrend, but we got a weekly double bottom here that held. If you took that long idea yesterday, it worked out beautifully. You've gotten a 30-point bounce. Nice lower wicks on both of those candles, a little tweezer bottom setting up, not confirmed yet. Not confirmed because that weekly candle is not closed. Hourly chart, we're getting over this resistance of 1987.40, but only by 50 cents. I would still consider that a double top. on the 4 hour. I like a short of gold against 1988. You could use 1988.80. Looking for that 4 hour temporary top to be in at the 50 MA. I love all y'all. I'm sorry I can't do all of your chart requests every day, but that's the good thing about being a TCG member is you do get your chart request answered. Okay, this is what I was looking for. We are up at the daily 50 MA. Yes, we broke over 73.95. I care less about that, even though price action I say is king, queen, prince, and princess. This daily 50 MA is a booger bear for oil. I like oil short today. We do have inventory at 10:30, so be careful. You could look for a potential 15-minute lower high compared to 74.23 for a top fish entry. Again, inventory caution. Nat gas is doing nat gas things, bouncing during pre-market. Once the pit opens, go figure. We are at the hourly 50 MA overhead. I have no meaningful good analysis for nat gas. We have a double bottom at 2318, 2317. We can even call it a triple bottom with 2322. Here at the daily 50 MA, inventory tomorrow at 10:30. I guess I like a long with this daily double bottom, but man, it sure is a mess. This is some Michigas. Nat gas, Apple. Okay. I love you, Marvin. Okay. Apple, I've already done it. I would give it down to 140.32. I would just give it that much grace. And by grace, I mean I'm standing back, hands underneath my legs, sitting on my hands, doing nothing, and see how it behaves in this area. And do we get a 2-minute or 5-minute trend change for a potential long scalp? And odds favor you get stopped out probability-wise. But if you're right, the risk to reward is very good. And I was just looking at NASDAQ this morning. I think double tops and double bottoms are your very, 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 very best friend. On a $14,000 instrument, $19 does not a bull break make. So let's say you took that top fish, you're up 330 points on NASDAQ. Y'all, that's a lot of points. That's a lot of ticks. That is 1,000. Let me see what that's worth. I forget. It's hard to keep up with it. I know ES is $5. That is, so on NASDAQ, $5 for every quarter. So that's $13.33. Times 5. 5, 6, 5. Nope. 5. That's $5,665. That's some nice cashola. So these double tops can be your very best friend and double bottoms. That's what I'm looking for in Apple today. We'll see. Amazon is strong. I don't know what it kind of bee it's got up in its bonnet, but yeah, hit the like button. No politics, please. Thank you. Okay, Biggies, this is your last warning. You're going to get blocked. Can y'all block him if he makes one more political comment? Hey, Trey. Trey, did I do that math wrong? S-H-I-T, I did. Duh, I went to Louisiana, so that's the problem. And that's my claim to fame is doing math in my head. So that's what I get for being all smarty pants. Okay, Amazon. This is super bullish. We're holding the hourly EMAs just fine. 114.80 is your key support. Yeah, if we get a bounce going in this confluence zone that we've been talking about, Amazon would be where I would look for a long with this pre-market strength. So when I get to Queen of the Mountain trades, they're all short. But Amazon, I like long. and they're all shorts after a bounce. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. NVIDIA, they have earnings after hours. I said this yesterday in my midday stream in our chat room, and I got some feedback, which was really good feedback, that from this earnings period to this earnings period, the thought process was, wow, they're priced to perfection. They're going to bomb on earnings because they're going to have to knock it out the park to earn this increase in valuation. Well, it didn't. It still popped. Well, here, this is a 55% increase from this low of earnings, the last earnings in February. We have gone up 55% since that earnings. Are earnings priced to perfection? Will they have to absolutely crush it in order to go up? Or have they gone too far, too fast, and good earnings are already priced in? And you see the profit taking right now. It really started Friday, but for sure yesterday, you see the profit taking going into earnings that has happened. So that will most likely impact MU, AMD, AVGO, I believe. That's semiconductor. Yeah, AVGO, and semiconductors in general and the overall market. So NVIDIA will be a big earnings after hours, and a volatile one after hours will be snow. Tesla is a queen of the mountain trade. I like a top fish on this. So I'm looking for a bounce to short on Tesla. So look at that 15-minute. You see that alert there? I'm looking for 15-minute overbought conditions or 5-minute overbought conditions. Didn't set that alert. For a Tesla short. Tesla was super weak yesterday. So I want to pick on the scrawny little kid in the playground in the corner. I don't want to pick on the big bully. Amazon's the big bully today, and Tesla is the scrawny kid in the corner. So Tesla, I like for an hourly lower high top fish. So let me type this out. Or I already have it typed out. So let me copy it. It's in my notes over here. Tesla, ugly daily bearish reversal candle, bear scouting a bounce to short for an hourly lower high top fish on AMD, ARC, IWM, and Tesla. KRE, same thing. KRE and PACW, you're looking for hourly lower high top fish setups. Those, I like all of those. And if you want to know what I like the most, go over here and look at what my charts I have pulled up. All of these to the left stay the same. And here, this is my sector chart where I look at my big 6 sectors and then Apple and Semi, my sexy sectors. So I like Tesla short, PACW short, NVIDIA. I'm watching for volatility. I like KRE short. I like Amazon long. I like AMD short, and Apple I like long compared to 170.32. So I have options depending on what the market does this morning. If it wants to stay weak, I have options. If it wants to get a bounce going, I have options. Okay. Could I look? One second. And I will look at you. You has lost the daily support of 28.87. Your next support's 27.57. Man, you're at a precarious situation teetering on that daily 50 MA and daily EMAs. You are in a precarious situation here. Bounces are for shorting on this name, in my opinion, in a daily downtrend. Serrana, good question. I like 15-minute overbought, 187.02. If we could get there, that would be a nice level. Well, that wasn't 187.02 right there. That intraday level. I love to go to 15-minute charts and look for intraday supports or resistances to find levels that I can play off. So in pre-market, I guess you could use 185.16 So I want to see how price behaves on a bounce near those levels. And I watch volume. I don't have enough time in the morning to tell y'all all the things that I'm watching for a trade to set up. So for a Tesla short, I'm watching volume. I'm watching RSI. I'm watching previous day levels, how price behaves at those levels. So I'm watching all of those finer details, and I'm looking at QQQ. If the market is weak, if the market is strong, I'm not going to look for a Tesla short. That's not going to be at the top of. I'd rather look at Amazon for a long than Tesla for a short, depending on what the market's doing. So I'm looking at all of this and weighing all the factors while monitoring market internals. So it's a lot of moving pieces. AVGO got that great news on that relationship with Apple, $1 billion relationship. It had elevated bear volume. When you kind of zoom in, you can see it had a lot of bull volume too. So I don't know, could this be a temporary top and a daily blow off candle? Maybe. You have key support at 67412. And bulls could look for a potential long in that area. We'll see how this all develops and how it unfolds. Yeah, I can share. So here's our chat room. So this was our thread yesterday we had going on KRE. Mod Timber, KRE getting into some congestion on daily. So he's pointing out that we have congestion in that area as far as price resistance. And I pointed out the daily 50 MA was overhead, 4-hour overbought in a weekly downtrend. Bulls weren't backing down quite yet. Dan was interested in a 2-minute lower high, and so was I. I got in DPST short at 9:49:58 a.m. So that's Mountain Time, so 11:49 a.m. And then I posted all my exits while I was live in here, and here. So that was what we were watching on KRE. Is right here. We were looking for that 2-minute lower high because we had reached 4-hour overbought. You had a little head and shoulders going on KRE, and DPST is the 3 times leverage bull. Oh, didn't mean to do that. So I top fished here and I got 607 short here. And then I got out right there at 580 was my final exit. I got out here, here, and there. So I shorted the 3 times ETF on KRE. And that's how I did it. Alrighty. You're welcome. Thanks, Renaissance Man. If y'all could hit that like button, I'd appreciate it. Oh, most importantly, darn it, almost forgot. Joey. I reminded y'all yesterday, I'm going to remind y'all again, Joey, Chart Guys Jungle Funk, will be doing, I'm going to pin it at the top of this chat. It's at the top of the chat, but now it's pinned. We'll be doing a webinar tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, identifying the most likely scenarios. If you can't watch it live, that's okay. You can watch it after. You can have that link. All right, thanks for being here. Give me a follow on Twitter, and you stop losses. I think that's all the things I have to boss y'all around on. All right, love you all.